What's up, everybody? It's the Alex Leak and Friends NFL podcast, back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak, and we have a special guest with us on the show, former Oklahoma and Baltimore Ravens and St. Louis Rams wide receiver, Mark Clayton. Thanks so much for being on the show, Mark.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going really good. Thanks for coming on. Now, for those of you that don't know, Mark was an All-American wide receiver at the University of Oklahoma and played in two national championship games. He was drafted in the first round of the 2005 NFL Draft by the Baltimore Ravens, where he would spend most of his 7-year NFL career, with a couple years of the St. Louis Rams before retiring in 2013. While in the NFL, Mark would record 260 catches for more than 3,000 yards and 16 career touchdowns. Hell of a career. Let's get started at the beginning, Mark. Your early football careers, you played your high school ball at Sam Houston High School in Arlington, Texas, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I know
now,
Sam Houston.
now, most of your high school career, you were a junior varsity quarterback. Is that right?
That's right. That's right. So early in my football years, I was defensive. Played up all based on the defense, and then I just switched to quarterback, and I moved to Texas from Oklahoma in middle school. And then from there, I was able to play junior varsity at quarterback. And the reason I made it as a varsity because of injuries,
Okay.
and was excited about my shot. And I played quarterback on varsity. And we went in. It was toward the end of my junior year, I think. And we went in to play Soto High School, very talented. And it was a fun thing. It was a fun thing. And after that, the coach thought it would be a good idea to move me to wide receiver.
That's
And from
cool.
that
And
point forward, it was just, yeah, it was all she wrote.
yeah, you tore it up at wide receiver. Now, what led to you ending up at the University of Oklahoma?
Um, man, just being born there, and then I wasn't big on watching college football
Uh huh.
until my senior year really in high school. But when the first games I saw and paid attention to was Oklahoma versus Notre Dame.
Nice.
And, you know, they coached us by Mike Leach as offensive coordinator, so they were throwing the ball left, right, just all over the field, and that just stuck with me. And then kind of I continued to watch college football and just see that they were just slinging the ball. And so for being a wide receiver, as I got closer to time for me to make my decision.
Mm-hmm.
Just knowing that no matter what, that we were going to be throwing the ball, 40 to 60 times a game, sounded very exciting.
Absolutely. And you started off hot right off the bat at OU, catching 45 passes for 500 yards and 3 touchdowns as a freshman. In 2003, though, you would explode with monster numbers, catching 83 balls, 1,400 yards, and 15 touchdowns. You would take home All-American and All Big 12 honors, as well as a Bolitnikov Award finalist. Um, like you said, your quarterback Jason White would win the Heisman Trophy that year, and you guys would make it all the way to the national championship game against Nick Saban's LSU Tigers. That had to be a hell of a
Right.
game. I was watching some of that, rewatching it, and you were really making a lot of plays out there.
Yeah, it was a great game, man. Two great teams. Nick Saban has always put together great teams and continues to do so.
Yeah,
And I believe will do so. In the future. Looking forward. But no, man, it was an incredible matchup. I even, remember going against Cliff Webster and what was it? T. Williams, I think it was.
hmm
Marcus Spears making plays on the defense. They had a really stout defense, and we were able to move up and down the field, and came up short. We had a chance to win it at the end, which was what you wanted, and we wasn't able to seal the deal, and they took home the ring. And like, yeah, we'll come back and do it again next year.
yeah, absolutely. And And you guys did that. I mean, you came back in 2004. You had another good year, 66 catches, 800 yards, 8 touchdowns. Once again, named All-American, All Big 12. Get back to the national championship game, this time in the Orange Bowl against USC. It didn't go as planned, but I mean, great years there at Oklahoma, back-to-back years, going to the national championship game. Looking back at your time at OU, what do you remember most about those years?
Um, man, I reflect on it now, and it's it's crazy to see where Oklahoma is today.
Mm-hmm.
And then, looking at the years before us, we were pretty much the catalyst for a complete shift in terms of OU Oklahoma football. As you know, it's been known throughout history. And brought, Coach Stoops brought in the air raid. And, um, I was able to be one of the first, kind of receivers to be in that system in Oklahoma and explode and have the production and, getting all the accolades and then be a part of some championship teams, which kind of reset the expectations for, Oklahoma year in, year out.
Yeah.
So when I look back at it, and I remember all the training and all the the workouts that we did that are now outlawed. You can't even do that shit anymore. Like, we got, man. I mean, it was craziness. Thinking about the way or experiencing training today versus knowing what we did in the past.
Yeah.
It was madness. But it was what made us who we were. We was a very resilient team, a very relentless team, and just a group of mentally tough savages, I'll say.
Yeah.
I mean, we went about everything full speed, 100%, every game. Whoever stepped up against us, they were going to get that work. And if they didn't bring it, it wasn't going to be pretty. And just having been a part of those teams, man, just built a lot of character, like who I am today as a man, and just the way I see sport and football and the value of it. Just playing sports in general, but football in particular, just the value of it for for some young men. It's not for everybody, but for some young men. And it's left an invaluable impression on me and my life experience even to this day. And I'm sure that's a long good one.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's cool. Oklahoma did a very good job building. I mean, you
Yeah.
could see all the pros that came through that university. And then now coming out of college, heading into the NFL draft, what was that experience for you like, switching from Oklahoma and doing combine and heading into the draft? What was all that like?
It was surreal for me. When I made it to the university, I wasn't expecting to go to college. It wasn't like something that I had planned on doing.
Mm-hmm.
I planned on initially because I was like my junior year in high school, college. I mean, especially on a college scholarship for football. I figured I'd be going to like the Air Force or something, one of the branches of service. Um, it was I thought I wanted to be an architecture engineer.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the scholarship opportunity happened, it was uh, surreal and exciting. And getting to Oklahoma was exciting, and almost like I was playing with house money, so to speak. And so it was fun, and that experience was incredible. Then going into the draft and combine stuff was just almost like bonus. Like I did not expect that at all. But after that junior year, it became very apparent that dude, this is about to go down.
Yeah.
Have a really good chance to be a first round pick. Um, so that my focus to do whatever I could to make sure that I put myself in the best position to be a first round pick. Just kind of went to another level. And So I was able to train with a really good training facility out in Arizona, which was it's called Exos now, formerly known as Athletes Performance.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a great group, and they was able to take me to a whole nother level physically, actually, from where I left the school. And so I went into college running a 4.7, 4.40. I left and I arrived at ATI, and my first time was like a 4.52, 4.55.
Mm-hmm.
And when I left, I was running half point threes, and I
Damn.
ended up running a 4.40. My average was 4.40 at the NFL Combine.
Wow.
So
That's
yeah, man,
sweet.
it was a great experience. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it did work, and along with the hype and along with that work, you go into the draft and get selected number 22 overall in the first round of the 2005 NFL Draft by the Baltimore Ravens. What's that feeling like to get that phone call and to, everything's in the balance, where you're gonna live, your entire future, and to get that phone call and know you're going to Baltimore? What was that experience like?
Man, when that call came through, I was, I was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It became very real. Up until that point, I had been kind of like real nonchalant about everything. Like, oh, it's cool, man. No big deal. Like, yeah. I did all that. Like, it's not a big deal. But dude, when I heard Ozzy's voice, um, it just became really, really real. Just all of what I watched as a kid and could remember in terms of being a fan of Barry Sanders and then the Dallas Cowboys from being living here,
Mm-hmm.
and then watching Super Bowl here and there. Um, just this was the peak of what it means to play football as a football player, and that just it happened. Like I got my opportunity to actually suit up, go practice and play and travel and to play in different stadiums in the NFL from the moment I got that call. So I was overwhelmed and all the emotions came and I was ready to go, like 100%
Mm-hmm.
ready to go. But it was really surreal. It was really surreal.
That's so cool. It had to be a very special moment. And then you landed in a good spot. I mean, a lot of veteran leadership there in Baltimore, a solid head coach in Brian Billick. And as a rookie, you come in with the Ravens, you catch 44 passes, 470 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Solid rookie year. Um, did it help you a lot to have a veteran teammate like Derek Mason in that wide receiver room?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
It helped to have like veterans all over the place in
Yeah.
Baltimore. It was a really good team. I think my first year we only won 6 games, but we had a lot of stuff going on
Mm-hmm.
in house. But it was a really good team. A lot of veterans, and it helped a lot just making the adjustment. I mean, I was already by nature kind of like pretty introverted, and I'm like a nerd,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of architect parts of me.
Mm-hmm.
And then a quarterback helped me be able to really get a playbook, dissect it, and know it backwards and forwards. And so that was, a huge benefit. My rookie year, being able to adjust. I remember, being a rookie and really wanting to expand on it.
Mm-hmm.
Kept it pretty basic. And I know we did that because that was our scheme and our style, and we had a really good defense. And that's just how we were going to approach it. And then, our quarterback, that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it was a fun rookie year to have the veterans around to make it fun, and to make it like it's not a big deal. Like you're in the league, bro, it's cool, but it's just football.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody would always just say like Clayton, like it's just football, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's high school, like, and that's a fact. Like it is just football, but it becomes just football when you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
When you know your offense, you know your plays, and you know
Yeah, that's awesome. And then the next year in 2006, the your second year, the Ravens would trade for veteran quarterback Steve McNair, rest in peace, a hell of a quarterback
Yeah.
from the Tennessee Titans. Um, he, what kind of leadership and stability did he bring to the quarterback position in the locker room?
Oh man, Steve was a rock, man.
Hmm.
Um, just a solid guy, and then as solid a teammate as you can have. Um, I mean, I was able to, have a really good season statistically
Hmm.
with Steve, and I mean, a lot of that was, being able to just play ball, know what was going on, and have the instincts to kind of feel, defenses and and holes in defenses, and Steve with his experience and just all the football he's played, man, we were able to connect a lot, and I was definitely sad, and hurt when he retired, and he had his injuries, and then went on to retire. That was tough because I was really looking forward to continuing to grow year over year. Not only as a combination, but personally
Mm.
as a receiver, statistically as a receiver, and wanting to continue to have teams that competed for the championship too.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so yeah,
And yeah, that year with McNair in 2006, you guys went 13-3, got to the playoffs. Didn't have the playoff success you wanted, but I mean, you had a good year statistically, like you said, 67 catches, just under 1,000 yards and 5 touchdowns. And you would have a good playoff game, 6 catches for 73 yards for your first career playoff game. Um, what was your first playoff game like? Were you nervous going into the playoff game, or was it, like you said, just football?
it was the first. I mean, I think it was not. I think Coach Billy does and really did a great job of treating us like like men pros, and addressing things as a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
He was very blunt and just to the point, and then didn't waste time and didn't do a whole lot of extra. Um, and I really appreciated that. There's different personas, characters, and people are emotionally at different places. When they get there, and how they perform under different circumstances in life, games or big games or not, it's
Mm-hmm.
different. And so for me, like I think coming from Oklahoma, being a part of a lot of championship ball, playing in the playoffs it wasn't a tremendous amount of pressure at all.
Mm-hmm.
It was a game, man. Between the lines, you still have to run your eyes out at the same time. You need to sell, whatever route you run in, and make your cut, get across, and get back into the ball, and make the play regardless. Um, I think the energy from the fans, you feel that this is win or go home,
Mm-hmm.
and that's phenomenal. But the, the ability to kind of quiet the emotion of it as a player and just focus on what you need to do. For me, it was one of my assets to the team.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. And that's what going to a good college like Oklahoma will do. Gets you in those big games and gets you comfortable when you get to the next level in those bigger games. That's sweet.
right. Yes, sir. And
Um,
actually, it's playing off.
yeah. Now, in 2007 was a down year for the Ravens, moving on from Jamal Lewis and Adalys Thomas and some others. The team would go 5-11 and miss the playoffs. However, you stayed consistent, caught 48 passes for 500 plus yards. Um, but then 2008 was a bit of a turnaround year for the Ravens. Brian Billick was out, and John Harbaugh was brought in as head coach. Like you mentioned, Steve McNair retiring, and they draft a new quarterback in Joe Flacco. And the team goes 11-5 and makes the playoffs. You caught 41 balls for just under 700 yards and 3 touchdowns. What were your thoughts on the transition in the new head coach and new quarterback?
Man, it was. I mean, it was a great experience. I mean, just to get
Mm-hmm.
It solves or covers a lot of problems. There's ball bouncing, a number of ways, and there's always plays that were bust or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
when you win, it covers a multitude of sins. Um, and so, like, just having Harbaugh come in and kind of shake it up. And, um, we initially, had our spout, like, we went back and forth with Harbaugh. A few of that would have stuff to say because he was good for the bully,
Mm-hmm.
basically. He wanted to run things, be a little bit more hands-on, and that micromanage a lot more. So um, we would push back on that, like that too. And so we were essentially building a relationship early, and we was able to build one that led to success on the field. And with Harbaugh did a great job, coming in and allowing the staff to do staff. And, we was able to perform and go and have a winning record and get back to the playoffs.
Yeah, and like you said, winning cures all, and when you go on the road in the playoffs and get a couple of wins, that's going to make everything a lot better. You go all the way to the AFC Championship game in 2008 against the bitter rival Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, as a fan watching those Steeler Ravens game, you could see the physicalness and the toughness from the TV screen. But can you tell me a little bit about what it's like to be on the field in such a violent like rivalry between the Steelers and Ravens?
Oh man, that game is somebody getting knocked out at some point. Like, it's just a matter of who,
Yeah.
even if. um, which I mean, that is also like my favorite away game. Like was a night game in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I mean, they get it going in there and it's rocking, and even better when you win in Pittsburgh. I loved it. Um, but man, those games were. I mean, they were what they were, man. It's going to be tough slugs. It's going to be hard hitting, and it's going to be a chess match at the same time, and it's just yeah, it is that. It's a regular Steelers game. Everybody knows what it's going to be, and it is true to form year after year.
Yeah. I'm a NFC North. I'm a Bears fan, but my two favorite rivalries, Bears Packers and Steelers Ravens, and those games are so much
Right.
fun.
Yeah.
How difficult is it to go against Troy Polamalu out there?
Man, Troy is ridiculously instinctive. He's, to me, as close to Ed Reed as there is.
Wow.
Yeah, Ed Reed number one, because that's my boy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse Jada. Jada, wants to make a noise. But yeah, Ed Reed is he's my favorite player.
Mm-hmm.
But Palomalu was as instinctive and crafty and athletic, and reckless. Like he was relentless, and certainly a Hall of Famer. So a lot of what we had to do offensively was, he got the red. He was a red dot guy. When you go into your meetings on, Wednesday morning, and you're putting in the game plan for the week, you point out the guys who are problems on their side that
Yeah.
we have to address and account for at all times. Colorado was one of those red dot guys because he was just have a responsibility and leave it to go make a play. So it's like we got to watch and know where he's at, and then we was able to kind of get a little tip, kind of on some of what he did, and get him out of position and just take advantage of it. Sometimes. So, but other than that, like he was always in the play or sort of to be found around the play, and especially that year, he picked off,
Yeah.
the interception and going to the Super Bowl and that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. That's something you can always look back on those battles. In 2009, your final year with the Ravens, you would catch 34 balls for 480 yards, two touchdowns. The team would go 9-7 and make the playoffs, including a wild upset of the Patriots in Foxborough, 33-14. What an upset! What was it like to be a part of that game where you go in and just take it to Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and the big bad Patriots?
that was, those wins are awesome.
Yeah.
Because I know they were. I'm sure they were game planning for next week. Oh, they would say something, but I don't think they wasn't ready for that. And we came in and we were hitting on all cylinders. I mean, Ray Rice broke it open for us offensively,
Yeah.
and Ed Reed had a great day. They with a couple picks, and Suggs was all over Tom. It was, you know, yeah, it was one of those days where every professional team, is talented. Like,
Mhm.
it's very the difference between the team that does not win a game and the team that goes undefeated or has one loss is slim. I mean, it really is slim. And so like for it to click like that um, across the board, offense, defense, and special teams at that time was was magnificent. And obviously to go into Foxborough and beat who will probably go down as the greatest. I mean, they're definitely a team of the decade, maybe of 2 decades.
Yeah.
They're the greatest team in NFL history, arguably. I mean, it was awesome. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
then the you wouldn't get past the Colts, but still a great run there in 2009. Getting that big win. Now in 2010, you were traded to the St. Louis Rams, but a knee injury in Week 5 would end your season. You would play one more year in St. Louis in 2011 before announcing your retirement in 2013. What was St. Louis like compared to Baltimore? Was it a lot different?
It was way different from a like an offensive perspective for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bittersweet, kind of departure from Baltimore.
Yeah.
I actually, really wanted to get to a place where I could catch a lot more balls and be more a go-to guy
Yeah.
in an aerial assault in the NFL, and that was my opportunity to do that. And so I was excited to get there and be with Coach Shermer. And I remember I think I got there the week of the first game, and he
Mm-hmm.
asked if I'd be able to get the playbook down, and I was like, absolutely. And by Wednesday's practice, I had the playbook down.
Damn.
He was like, how the hell do you do that? I was like, actually, I was like, photographic injury. So I just take snapshots and I just got it.
That's awesome.
So I was able to play that first week, and in that first week, I had like 10 catches for 100 yards. And, for me, I was looking forward to doing that on a regular basis
Mm-hmm.
and getting back to my college ways. And so, me, Sam Bradford had got there from Oklahoma. So that was great. And I know the seasons before that year, St. Louis hadn't won much.
Yeah.
So our first, 5 games, I think we were 2-2 going into that fifth game. And then I got hurt for the first, it was early in that fifth game versus Detroit. And man, it was devastating.
Yeah.
I was excited about what was going on. And for me, that was my last year of my contract too. So I had some incentives, going into it, and things started off, really hot, and then ruptured the patella tendon.
Yeah, and I mean, those suck. I hate injuries. Whenever I'm playing video games, I love to turn the injuries off because I've had so many,
Absolutely.
so many of my favorite players had their injuries cut short. Derrick Rose, one of my favorite players ever. Um, yeah, it sucks that your career got cut short by that injury. But Nothing to complain about. Hell of a football career.
Yeah.
Playing in some of the biggest games in recent memory. Um, when you look back on your football playing career, what is it that you remember the most about it? What do you like to think back on?
Um, man, so it's partly the game, the big games,
Uh huh.
championship games, but man, I think like it's I always think about our like the ride, the locker room stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
the guys after that I talk to, the relationships, that I have. Um, football allowed me to experience so much life that I would absolutely not have experienced otherwise.
Yeah.
Um, and today the way I do life is being a father and have my kids and engage with other kids and other people and the way I see relationships. Um, and my life perspective, like a lot of the experience I had through football shaped that. And so, man, just it was a really massive part of my life, man. And
Yeah.
uh, I'm so grateful for it, and a lot of life today and appreciation for that entire experience. Um, Knowing that it was nothing but the grace of God, um, just give me a kind of just a result. Like, man, life's good. Like, I don't. There's not. I mean, I'm going to have other experiences with my kids as they do stuff and grow. And my daughter says her first words. And, my son
Mm-hmm.
plays in his first select soccer game, and stuff like that will be awesome for me to experience with them. And I don't feel like I'm I'm missing anything in my own life. Like I got to accomplish so much more than I ever could have imagined.
Mm-hmm.
That is my bucket's full. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that's so
Um,
cool.
and so yeah, my kids are they're the overflow, and I get to live and really just enjoy whatever they do.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, man.
great. You got a great perspective on it, and that's cool to hear that. Now, post football career, are you're the founder of Live Headphones? Is that am I saying that right?
You're right. That's right. No headphones.
Nice. So Live Headphones, and you're also a founder of a Christian-based clothing company called My Christian Tee or MCT.
NCT was I had that. Yep. I no longer run NCT, but I
Okay.
currently run those headphones. Yep.
Nice. And where can listeners or fans get Live Headphones at?
There's headphones available online at thisheadphones.com. And then on the social media platforms are links to our webpage. So I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And my handle is Live Brand, LIVB Brand.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on my show, Mark. Thanks for taking some time. I know you're a busy guy, so this means a lot.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you having me. I
Yeah,
enjoyed this.
yeah, it was really cool getting to hear a little bit about your career and great stuff. So appreciate it and have a great day, sir.
Okay. Thanks, man. Have a good one. You too.
Yep, see ya.
Bye.
All right, that'll do it for this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll keep the interviews coming. I should have one next week. And keep tuning in. Appreciate the support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or leave a comment. And have a great week, guys. Peace out.